Hi there, it's Stacy again. I wanted to follow up on the video I sent out the other day, about a week or so ago, that covered the National Association of Realtors settlement and the changes that we're going to see for buyers and sellers and how that's going to look in the state of South Carolina. So, in the past, in the state of South Carolina, when a listing agent would go to a seller to go ahead and put a property on the market, as a part of the listing agreement, commission amount was negotiated as a total amount that would go with a portion to the listing agent, and then the listing agent's brokerage would share a portion of that compensation with the buyer's agent brokerage. The buyer's agent compensation amount was listed in the MLS with all of the other information about the house, so that buyer agents would have the information about the house, but also about the amount of compensation being offered to the buyer's agent from the listing brokerage. They call that cooperating compensation. The ones that brought the class action lawsuit felt like, because the amount of buyer agent compensation was required by the MLS to be listed in the MLS, that the National Association of Realtors, the brokerages who participate, and the MLS were price fixing. So they negotiated a settlement, and these new agreements that went out on August 17th are the result of that settlement. So really what the new seller agreement in the state of South Carolina does is provide a lot more flexibility for any seller on what they want to offer, how much they want to offer, and who they want to offer agent compensation to. It really comes down to a couple of different options. So the first option that a seller would have is to kind of stick with the old formula, go ahead and offer buyer agent compensation and give permission in writing for the seller's agent to share the fact that they're offering buyer agent compensation in the amount, percentage, flat fee, whatever they're offering. It's just that any agent compensation being offered to the buyer's agent can no longer be published in the MLS or any website or group connected directly to the MLS. But again, that first option would be, we're just going to go ahead and do it the way we've been doing it for years. The second option would be that the seller says, you know what? I have no desire to offer buyer agent compensation in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to give my listing agent permission to share that with any potential buyers or buyer's agents, that we are not offering agent compensation or buyer agent compensation at all. And so anyone that brings a buyer's agent will need to compensate their own buyer's agent. Seller is not willing to do so. The third option is that the seller and the seller's agent talk about buyer agent compensation, and the seller says, I'm not opposed to offering buyer agent compensation, but what I'd like to know is how it affects the bottom line to me. And so rather than giving you permission to go out and tell everyone that I'm offering buyer agent compensation, what you can do is tell everyone that they can ask for any seller concessions that they want to ask for in their offer. And so they can ask for closing costs, they can, the refrigerator, and also buyer agent compensation can be put into any offer that that is brought to us, and we will evaluate the offer as a whole. So the thing about having all of these options is none of it is a one size fits all for any situation. And so it really is going to be important to sit down and talk about the goal of the seller, which obviously, in addition to selling the house, is, how quickly do they need to sell? What's the property like? Do they want to make repairs? What kind of condition is it in? Where's the location, etc.? And so every situation is going to be different. Every property is different. And so it's going to be up to the seller to have a realistic conversation with their listing agent about what strategy they should put together to best market the house and bring the most buyers to the property. And that is going to differ property to property. I hope this information is helpful and answers some questions that you have about the settlement and how things have changed for buyers and sellers in South Carolina. If you have any questions at all, whether it's about, the policy as a whole or as it pertains to your specific property, you're more than welcome to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to talk through it with you. And of course, if you have any other real estate questions, I'm always happy to help. Thanks so much for watching.